Hi, I'm Linda. Trust me, you won't believe what I've been through. Living with my husband's family wasn't exactly the dream. Lucas promised it would be temporary. Just until we save up, he said when we got married 2 years ago. 2 years, and I'm still stuck under their roof. I'm an interior designer, and a dang good one. My client list is growing, and my designs have even made it into local magazines. You'd think my husband would be proud, right? Wrong. You're spending too much time at the office, Linda. Who are all these clients anyway? Lucas would grill me nearly every night over dinner. They're just clients, Lucas. You know I'm working on that new restaurant downtown. His mother, Regina, would pipe in as she passed the mashed potatoes. A proper wife should be home more. In our family, we believe in traditional values. Traditional values, I was sick of hearing it. Lucas's sisters, Amber and Kira, always found ways to pile on. Maybe if you dressed more modestly, Lucas wouldn't worry so much. Amber would comment, her eyes darting to my sleeveless blouse. I'm in my own home, I snapped once. Technically, our home, Regina corrected with a tight smile. Every time I suggested finding a place of our own, Lucas shut me down. Not this again, Linda. You know Dad's health isn't great. He needs us here. Conveniently, Richard, my father-in-law, would cough dramatically, though I'd seen him swinging golf clubs just last week. The breaking point came when I met Natalie, a coworker who quickly became my first real friend since moving in. Girl, you need to set some boundaries, she said over lunch one day. It's not normal for your husband to check your phone every night. He doesn't check it, I mumbled. He just glances at it sometimes. Linda, that's still checking. And living with his family, that's just asking for trouble. That evening, Lucas was waiting when I got home. His arms were crossed, his face tight. Who's Natalie? Why are you having lunch with her so often? She's my coworker, Lucas. We're working on the Morrison project together. You never mentioned her before. Are you hiding something? I took a deep breath, my frustration boiling over. The only thing I'm hiding is how miserable I am. We need our own space, Lucas. I love you, but this isn't healthy. His voice rose, sharp with accusation. What isn't healthy is my wife forgetting her family values. As if on cue, Regina entered the room, her tone dripping with judgment. Lucas is right, dear. You've changed. All this attention at work, it's gone to your head. Pride comes before a fall, you know. I'm not proud, Regina. I'm successful. There's a difference. I went to bed that night feeling caged, the walls of the house closing in. The next day, after an exhausting shift, I walked into the kitchen to find the family gathered for dinner. You're late again, Lucas muttered without looking up. Had to finish the Morrison project. Work, 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 Regina sighed. Maybe you should focus on your home instead. I clenched my fists. Lucas, I've been thinking. That new development across town has some beautiful houses. We should look. Not this again, Linda, he interrupted. Our life is here with family. Your family, Lucas, not mine. Richard let out his token cough. Son, your mother needs help with her medications. And my heart. They need us here, Lucas insisted, his tone resolute. They need you. I need my husband. I need privacy. Privacy? He scoffed. What are you hiding, Linda? That was it. I stormed out into the garden, the crisp night air biting against my skin. Stars sparkled mockingly above as tears burned hot down my cheeks. How had my life become this prison? Hey, everything okay? Jack's voice startled me. Just family stuff, I admitted, wiping my face quickly. The whole moving out discussion again. Jack, the only member of Lucas's family who seemed to understand, nodded knowingly. This family can be a lot. I get it. I laughed bitterly. Is it too much to ask for a little space of our own? He smiled softly. You know what's funny? Even when you're upset, you still look put together. Must be that beautiful hair of yours, like something out of a shampoo commercial. I managed a weak laugh, but the moment shattered as I heard footsteps behind us. Lucas had come to the garden, likely to apologize, but when he saw Jack compliment my hair, his face darkened. Without a word, he spun around and retreated. Later, in our bedroom, the silence between us was suffocating. Lucas's voice finally cut through, sharp and cold. Cover your hair. I blinked, sure I'd misheard. What? You heard me. If you're going to live in this house, cover your hair. My jaw dropped. This is insane. I've told you, Lucas, we need our own place. Then you wouldn't have to obsess over who sees my hair. My father needs us here. I scoffed. Your father plays golf every weekend. He's fine. His eyes narrowed, his tone unrelenting. Cover your hair. No, I won't. I crossed my arms, trembling with anger. This is exactly why we need to move. Your jealousy is out of control. He didn't respond, just turned his back to me. I sighed, grabbed a sleeping pill, and lay down, turning my back to him. The only way I could find rest in this house anymore was with medication. Fine, have it your way, he muttered. As the pill pulled me into sleep, I vaguely heard him pacing. The rustle of a drawer opening filtered through my haze, followed by a sudden, chilling sensation on my scalp. I tried to stir, to protest, but the medication dragged me under. When I woke, something felt off. My hand instinctively went to my hair. The flowing locks I had spent years growing were gone. In their place were jagged, uneven strands barely reaching my ears. I bolted to the mirror and screamed. Regina appeared at the door, coffee cup in hand. What's all this noise about? I turned, trembling with fury. Look at what he did to my hair. She tilted her head, sipping her coffee casually. Oh dear. Trying out a new style? It's different. Different. Lucas cut my hair while I was sleeping. Her lips pursed into a smug smile. Well, it'll grow back. Maybe next time you'll listen. I stormed downstairs, finding Lucas at the breakfast table, calmly eating as if nothing had happened. How could you do this to me? I demanded. He didn't even flinch. Do what? You needed to learn respect. Respect? You violated me while I was asleep. Amber, who had just entered the room, rolled her eyes. Don't be so dramatic. It's just hair. It'll grow back if you behave. I couldn't take it anymore. I called in sick to work, but Natalie showed up at the house that afternoon. The moment she saw me, her eyes widened in shock. Oh my God, Linda, pack your things. You're staying with me tonight. At Natalie's apartment, I broke down as she made tea. It's worse than you think, she said, her face grave. The Morrison Project. Lucas called them last week. He tried to cancel the contract, said you were mentally unstable. He what? And that's not all. Remember the Petersons? Regina's been spreading rumors at the country club that you're having an affair with a client. My hands shook as I scrolled through my calendar. Cancelled appointments stared back at me. It was him, I whispered. Natalie grabbed my hands. Linda, this is abuse. You need to document everything. That night, I ordered hidden cameras. While the family was at church, I installed them in our bedroom, the kitchen, and the living room. What I found made my blood run cold. Footage showed Regina rummaging through my drawers, Amber scrolling through my phone while I was in the shower, Kira photographing my personal documents, Lucas reporting my every move to his mother. Then came the damning conversation. In the kitchen, Regina spoke in a low voice. The hair was a good start, son, but she's still too independent. Maybe we should take her phone next. Remember how well that worked with Diana? My heart sank. Diana. That night, I scoured my email and found a chilling subject line. I was Lucas's ex. Hi, Linda. I saw your picture in the design magazine and recognized Lucas. I need to warn you, what they did to my hair was just the beginning. They isolated me, sabotaged my job, spread rumors until I had nothing left. I fled to Chicago. Please be careful. Diana and I exchanged messages for hours. Her stories mirrored mine. Regina going through her phone. Lucas canceling her clients, the family gaslighting her at every turn. Weeks of pretending followed. While outwardly playing the obedient wife, I secretly packed documents, backed up evidence to the cloud, and finalized plans to escape. Natalie secured me a position at a prestigious firm in Boston, and Diana revealed the family's darkest secret. The fraud goes deep, she told me. I worked in their accounting department. Richard funneled stolen money into offshore accounts. Mrs. Peterson's charity donation, it never made it to the foundation. Deanna's information was the key. I anonymously tipped off their largest client, and auditors descended like a storm. The morning it all came crashing down, Lucas stormed into the bedroom, his face contorted with rage. Did you do this? Did you trigger the audit? I looked up from packing my suitcase, calm for the first time in months. Me? I'm just your unstable wife, remember? The one you mutilated in her sleep. Regina barged in, pale as a ghost. They're going through everything. Good, I smiled, pulling out the divorce papers. And so will the court. Lucas's face twisted with rage. You ungrateful little. Save it, I cut him off, my voice calm but firm. I have everything on camera, the harassment, the abuse, those late-night family meetings where you all plotted to break me. Oh, and Diana says hi, by the way. The color drained from their faces. You can't prove anything, Richard wheezed, his usual bravado cracking. I tilted my head, feigning sympathy. The cameras caught you discussing the offshore accounts in the kitchen last week. Oops. The scandal hit like a tsunami. Lucas and Richard were swiftly indicted on fraud charges, and I moved to Boston to start anew. My lawyer made sure I got my fair share in the divorce. Half of everything Lucas owned before his assets were frozen by the court. Weeks later, Natalie sent me a local news link. The headline read, Bennett family business empire crumbles. Father and son face federal charges. I couldn't help but smile as I texted her back. Karma's a better designer than me. Diana flew in to celebrate, her laughter as infectious as ever. They selling the house yet? She grinned over a glass of wine. Yep. Regina and her sisters had to move into a small apartment. I replied, savoring every word. I heard Amber's country club membership got revoked, and Kira's fiancé called off the wedding. Apparently, his family doesn't approve of criminals. 2 years flew by. My design firm in Boston flourished, specializing in women's shelters and safe houses, spaces designed for healing and strength. My hair grew back, longer and stronger than ever, a living testament to resilience. Then came the call I'd been waiting for. Lucas was sentenced to 5 years in prison for fraud. Richard got 7. Their business was gone, their reputation destroyed, their social status obliterated. During one of Natalie's monthly visits, she asked, How does it feel? I ran my fingers through my long, flowing hair, smiling. Like justice. Regina tried to reach out once, probably looking for money. I blocked her number. The last I heard, she and her daughters were working retail jobs, their designer clothes and luxury cars long gone. Recently, my latest shelter project was featured in Architectural Digest. When the interviewer asked about my inspiration, I simply said, Sometimes, the most beautiful designs come from rebuilding after destruction. What would you do if your spouse's family tried to strip away your career, your freedom, and your identity, and actively participated in your destruction? Would you quietly escape, or would you ensure they face the consequences of their actions? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Abuse isn't always physical. It can be the slow erosion of your independence, confidence, and sense of self. If Linda's story resonated with you, share your experience. Your voice could help someone else find their strength. And remember, abuse thrives in silence, but power comes from breaking free.